Locating electrical fixtures and switch positions in attics, especially dark attics, can be challenging. However, there are several techniques that can simplify this task. Firstly, consider using fluorescent powder. Sprinkle fluorescent powder on the floor directly above where the fixture or switch will be installed. The powder will adhere to the insulation, making it visible in the dark and accurately marking the location. Secondly, employ a laser level in conjunction with a flashlight. Shine a laser level from the attic towards the desired location below. Adjust the laser's height until it precisely hits the intended spot. Then, use the flashlight to carefully track the laser's path through the insulation, providing a clear visual guide. Thirdly, utilize a stud finder to identify the locations of joists or rafters. Once the joists are found, measure the distance between them to precisely determine the center point for the fixture or switch. This ensures proper placement and avoids structural elements. Furthermore, consider these innovative ideas. Firstly, a magnetic tracer can be effective. Attach a strong magnet to a long metal rod or even a coat hanger. Slide the rod through the insulation until you feel the magnet connect with a metal plate or device, such as a junction box. This method helps pinpoint the location of concealed electrical components. Secondly, an infrared camera can be invaluable. Use an infrared camera to detect heat emitted by electrical wires. By carefully following the wires, you can effectively trace them to the desired location, even in dark and cluttered attics. Thirdly, explore using a remote control magnet. Attach a small, remote-controlled magnet to a piece of wire. Send the wire through the insulation and use the remote to activate the magnet. The magnet will then attract any metal objects nearby, indicating the location of the fixture or switch box. These methods offer enhanced precision in dark attics. When working in attics, always prioritize safety and adhere to best practices. Firstly, always wear protective gear, including a mask and gloves, to protect yourself from dust and insulation particles. Secondly, turn off the power to the area before commencing any drilling or cutting to prevent electrical shock. Thirdly, use a flashlight or headlamp to provide adequate illumination, ensuring you can see clearly and avoid accidents. Fourthly, mark the location carefully before drilling or cutting to prevent damaging wires or joists. If you are unsure or facing difficulties, it is always best to consult with a licensed electrician for assistance. Electrical work can be hazardous, and professional guidance ensures safety and compliance with electrical codes. Understanding the National Electrical Code, or NEC, requirements is crucial. While the 2014 NEC is mentioned, always refer to the latest edition adopted by your local jurisdiction. Code requirements address various aspects of electrical installations, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. Familiarize yourself with relevant articles such as Article 300, Wiring Methods, Article 310, Conductors for General Wiring, Article 400, Flexible Cords and Cables, and Article 404, Switches. These articles provide specific guidelines for safe and compliant electrical work. For example, NEC 310.15 outlines the allowable ampacity of conductors, ensuring that wires are properly sized for the intended load. NEC 404.2 addresses the installation and use of switches, including requirements for their location and accessibility. NEC 300.14 specifies the minimum length of free conductor outlets and switch points for splices or terminations of equipment. Furthermore, grounding is paramount for electrical safety. NEC 250 provides comprehensive requirements for grounding and bonding, which are essential for preventing electrical shock hazards. Proper grounding ensures that fault currents have a low impedance path back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker or fuse and energizing the circuit. Pay close attention to grounding electrode systems, equipment grounding conductors, and bonding requirements for metal enclosures and raceways. Ensure that all grounding connections are secure and meet the specifications outlined in the NEC. When working with electrical circuits, always use appropriate tools and equipment. Use insulated tools to prevent electrical shock and verify that your testing equipment is calibrated and in good working order. Use a voltage tester to confirm that circuits are de-energized before working on them. Use a multimeter to measure voltage, current, and resistance as needed. Adhering to safe work practices and using the right tools are essential for preventing accidents and ensuring the quality of your work. When installing new light fixtures, consider energy efficiency. Choose LED lighting fixtures, which consume significantly less energy than traditional incandescent or halogen bulbs. LED fixtures also have a longer lifespan, reducing the need for frequent replacements. Consider using occupancy sensors or dimmers to further reduce energy consumption. Occupancy sensors automatically turn lights on and off based on room occupancy, while dimmers allow you to adjust the light level to suit your needs. By incorporating energy-efficient lighting solutions, you can reduce your electricity bills and minimize your environmental impact. When running new wires in attics, ensure that they are properly supported and protected. Use cable staples or cable ties to secure the wires to joists or rafters. Avoid running wires across sharp edges or where they could be damaged by physical contact. When passing wires through holes in framing members, use grommets or bushings to protect the wires from abrasion. In addition, ensure that the wires are adequately protected from moisture and temperature extremes. Attics can be hot and humid, so choose wires that are rated for these conditions. When installing new switches, choose switches that are rated for the intended load. Switches are typically rated in amps and volts, and it is important to select a switch that can handle the maximum current and voltage of the circuit. Use a switch that is listed by a recognized testing laboratory, such as UL, to ensure that it meets safety standards. Ensure that the switch is properly grounded and that all connections are secure. When working with electrical panels, exercise extreme caution. Electrical panels contain live circuits and can be very dangerous if not handled properly. Always turn off the main breaker before working on the panel, and use insulated tools to prevent electrical shock. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, including safety glasses and gloves. If you are not comfortable working on electrical panels, consult with a licensed electrician for assistance. Electrical panel work should only be performed by qualified individuals. When installing new circuits, calculate the load requirements to ensure that the circuit breaker is properly sized. Overloaded circuits can overheat and cause fires. Use the NEC guidelines to calculate the total load on the circuit, including lighting, receptacles, and appliances. Choose a circuit breaker that is sized to protect the circuit from overloads and short circuits. The circuit breaker should be rated for the ampacity of the wires in the circuit. When making electrical connections, use appropriate connectors and ensure that they are properly tightened. Loose connections can cause overheating and electrical arcing. Use wire connectors that are listed by a recognized testing laboratory such as UL to ensure that they meet safety standards. Use a torque screwdriver to tighten the connectors to the manufacturer's specified torque. Properly tightened connections are essential for safe and reliable electrical installations. When working with aluminum wiring, use connectors and devices that are specifically designed for aluminum wiring. Aluminum wiring expands and contracts more than copper wiring, which can cause connections to loosen over time. Use antioxidant compound to prevent corrosion. Aluminum-compatible connectors and devices are designed to accommodate this expansion and contraction and prevent corrosion. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions when working with aluminum wiring. If you are working in an old house with outdated wiring, consider upgrading the wiring to meet current safety standards. Old wiring can be deteriorated and may not be able to handle the demands of modern appliances and electronics. Replacing old wiring can improve the safety and reliability of your electrical system. Consult with a licensed electrician to determine the best course of action for upgrading your wiring. When running wires through walls, use proper techniques to avoid damaging the wires of the wall. Drill holes that are large enough to accommodate the wires without putting excessive strain on them. Use a fish tape or wire snake to pull the wires through the wall. Avoid using nails or screws to secure the wires to the wall, as these can damage the wires. Use cable staples or cable ties to secure the wires to the framing members. When installing recessed lighting fixtures, ensure that they are properly rated for insulation contact. Insulation contact, or IC, rated fixtures are designed to be in direct contact with insulation. Non-IC rated fixtures can overheat if they are covered with insulation, which can create a fire hazard. Always use IC rated fixtures when installing recessed lighting in insulated ceilings. When working in damp or wet locations, use waterproof or weatherproof electrical boxes and fittings. These boxes and fittings are designed to protect the electrical connections from moisture. Use ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, protection for circuits that serve receptacles in damp or wet locations. GFCIs are designed to protect people from electrical shock by detecting small imbalances in the current flow and tripping the circuit. When working with electrical equipment, always follow the manufacturer's instructions. The manufacturer's instructions provide important information about the safe and proper installation and operation of the equipment. Read the instructions carefully before beginning any work. If you have any questions, contact the manufacturer for assistance. Regular maintenance is essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of your electrical system. Inspect your electrical system regularly for any signs of damage or deterioration. Check for loose connections, cracked wires, and damaged equipment. Replace any damaged components promptly. Have your electrical system inspected by a licensed electrician every few years to ensure that it is in good working order. Finally, always remember that electrical work can be dangerous. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, consult with a licensed electrician for assistance. A licensed electrician has the knowledge and experience to perform electrical work safely and in compliance with electrical codes. Professional assistance ensures safety and quality in electrical projects. If you are uncertain about any aspect of electrical work, do not hesitate to seek professional help.